We are go for liftoff.
Yo. Welcome to an episode of Tote Talks, the sports podcast for the everyday fan. I'm your moderator, Chino. We're your host, Felix.
Hey.
And co-host, Dustin.
Yes, sir.
Shout outs, Mr. Nice, our producer.
Mr. Nice.
And we're here with a special guest. We got Jay in the building. Yo. We following up another week. What was this? Week 5 of the NFL 2019 season. Cowboys still sitting at 3-2 after a second loss now against the freaking Green Bay Packers.
No, you guys lost to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones just ran rampant all over the Dallas Cowboys.
We lost to some cheeseheads. I ain't gonna lie.
You lost to the bad.
Bad man. Shout out Stephen A.
But we do have Dustin's team that pulled out a dub somehow.
Absolutely, yes,
real
sir.
dub.
Real
That
dub.
was a
real
That was a
dub.
solid dub. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give that one to him.
I can't wait to talk about that.
I can honestly say they're probably the surprise team of the season. For sure.
Colts?
They're definitely one of them.
Like one of them. For sure. They
For
would
sure.
be like in my top 3 teams.
We don't get the respect that we deserve. That's certain.
I think everyone was just worried about the Andrew Luck, that they're not focused on what's been happening.
And
now.
everything else that was still there.
Yeah.
You took out one piece, but
Yeah.
Jacoby was there last year.
Yeah.
He knows the whole system.
Yeah,
He's played with them
and
already.
he was a starter reps too. I mean, we might as well just stay here while we're here. I want to talk about this for a quick second. That is how you play football right there, man. I was so thoroughly impressed with the entire group, man. The coaching staff, the O-line, the D-line, the secondary, the core, everything. We were without our 2 starting safeties and one of our best corners. Those were a lot of backup rookie players playing that. That shut down Mahomes to 13 points. And the reason they did that is because they could rush 4 and get away with it and drop 7 in coverage. And the Colts, man, I'll be the first to tell you, like, we got a couple good players on there. Danico Autry's a stud. Justin Houston from Kansas City, he balled out going back to his home. But besides that, man, it's a pretty subpar defensive line. And for us to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes like that, man, I was smiling ear to ear from start to finish.
It's like I told you off mic. When it comes to people having revenge games, like...
Oh, that was awesome.
I honestly... If you would have told me before this week started that it would have been him, I would have bet you any money that it would have been Khalil Mack destroying the Raiders.
He came out afterwards and said,
Go ahead.
on that 4th and 1 play where he stopped and where it pretty much ended the game, he came in afterwards, said he knew exactly what formation and play that Kansas City was going to run as soon as they came out of the huddle.
Yeah.
He said he knew exactly what play it was going to be, and that's big, man, because he read it perfectly. He cut right down that line.
Yeah, as soon as you see a team that you played against and you see them getting into their same habits, they're probably going to do the same thing.
Okay.
So when you're able to eat that up, that's ridiculous, man.
And there's something else I want to bring up. Sorry, I'm just excited about this one. But I think something was determined last night that we needed to settle the debate for. Everyone talks about the Eagles' O-line. Everyone talks about the Cowboys' O-line. The Indianapolis Colts have the best offensive line in football. End of discussion. Quentin Nelson, he's only in his 2nd year, but you might as well get that gold jacket fitted because I'm telling you right now, he's going to the Hall of Fame. That dude is absolutely intense.
And I like his attitude. I saw a video of him. It was
dude, he's mean.
It was like a bunch of his
mean.
offensive linemen were like helping players up and like telling them like, "Oh, good try," or like good thing. He's like, "Nah, that's not how you talk to them. You don't talk to the other fucking team." Like literally, I'm not kidding. Going off on them. Like, he is one of those old school players.
And he's such a team guy, man. Like, I watch the Colts game every single Sunday, and he's the first to the ball no matter where it's thrown. If Jacoby Brissett throws a 20-yard pass, bro, he's the first one there as soon as he gets tackled. Marlon Mack runs the ball outside 30 yards. Quentin Nelson is sprinting down the first one to pull him up, bro. Like, his effort, man, he's setting the tone for the entire team, and it's so exciting to watch. Like, I usually don't get excited over offensive line play, but that was absolute dominance, man. Those holes for Marlon Mack were wide open.
Yeah. It's just incredible how you see someone who literally is supposed to kill another team.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, before the game, I guarantee you, he was like counting his touchdowns. And like Dustin said, they literally shut it down. When you hold the ball that long and you don't let him do anything, that's like vintage. That's vintage football right there. Yeah. Hold the ball the whole time and let your defense go out there and win you the game. And I'll tell you one thing, the Colts and all these teams are starting to sway my decision on, like, what's the most important thing in football. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a good running back, a good quarterback, good receivers. If you don't give them time or protect them, there's nothing to be done. That's why you're seeing all these teams fall apart when their quarterbacks are getting killed over and over again.
I mean, we saw it when he was limping towards the end of the game there. I mean,
he was limping, but I don't want that to take away from anything the Colts did.
Patrick Mahomes is a
the Colts still did their job.
And that was toward like the end of the first half too. So there was an entire half where the Colts were still doing their thing with a healthy Patrick Mahomes. So he definitely got hurt. He was limping bad toward the end. But once again, that's because of the offensive line.
Yeah. All I know is my number that I said earlier this year.
30?
30 touchdowns or less. Looking a little bit sweeter now after 5 weeks, huh?
He's almost a third of the way there.
He has, 9?
Yeah.
But he's only thrown 1 in the last 2 weeks.
I think he's going to throw more than 3.
And now he's getting hurt with a weak O-line.
Is it fair to say if he's healthy, playing on Sunday, under 4 touchdowns?
Under. Who are they playing?
Well, I think Tyreek Hill comes back next week, so yeah.
I think even if Tyreek Hill wasn't there, if you have Joe Schmo running a route, Patrick Mahomes is going to win.
And the last 2 weeks have been rough for him. The Lions did the same thing the Colts did. The Lions tried to keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands as long as they could.
I mean, that's literally all you can do against a stud like that. That's like formula for any great quarterback.
Yeah.
You don't put him on the field. That's
Run
it.
the damn ball.
And speaking of quarterbacks and surprise teams, I'm having so much fun watching the Baltimore Ravens, in all seriousness. I didn't think I would.
Jackson's nice.
But their team is looking great.
He's making that comeback statement, man.
I don't know. He loves interacting with all the reporters and like going back and forth with all these guys. And last season, all they kept on talking about was his turnovers. And after all these wins, he's going to the reporters and the same people, he remembers them. He's like, "Oh, weren't you the guy talking about my turnovers? Why aren't you talking about that this time?" The guy's like, "No, you had a pretty good game." He's like, "Yeah, no turnovers, right?" So I just like players like that take the off season to work on their game. Dustin had him pinned last season.
No, I was just about to say I disagree with you on this wholeheartedly.
You said that they had him figured out and that they were just going to destroy him, and week in and week out.
Oh, he's
Lamar
coming
Jackson's
down, bro. He was on
everybody.
cloud 9, but he's starting to come down. I mean, the first game of the season, he played the Dolphins and had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. Like, come on, it's the Dolphins. Anybody's going to do that.
3 or 4 touchdowns?
Against the Dolphins?
He threw way more than that, but it doesn't matter.
How many was it?
The first week? Give me a second. I'll look up some stats for you.
Real quick, while you're looking up those stats, that ESPN alert that just came out was about to be the start of Monday Night Football. We got the Browns at the 49ers. Quick, who do y'all got winning tonight?
You can go first, Dustin.
49ers.
I'll take the Cleveland Browns.
All right.
I said the Cleveland Browns are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
They got to get this win here to make the playoffs.
The 49ers are the
I'm telling you right
team
now.
in the NFC.
Just to give you, what do you think his QBR is right now, Lamar Jackson?
Right now, I don't know, man. I hate those kind of stats. Like,
You hate QBR?
well, no,
Are you kidding? He has
like,
10
look.
touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
That's great.
If that doesn't impress you, I don't know what will.
That's great.
It's decent.
I think he has more touchdowns or the better stats than your quarterback right now.
Pretty sure he had 2 interceptions last game. See, what I'm more of a
So
what have you done for me lately?
So for last,
3, yeah. He had 3 interceptions.
There's no way. He has 2 right now.
I started him in fantasy. I believe he had 3.
So what kind of stats is this shit giving me right now?
Make sure it's
It literally says regular season.
Yeah,
It's
but
probably not through this week.
Yeah.
He threw 3 interceptions this week. I started him in fantasy. He did nothing for me.
Regardless, besides this week, the guy's been balling. There's a reason you started him in fantasy, right?
Oh yeah, because he has been balling.
But
let's not act like he's not a top 10 quarterback in the league or anything like that. He's probably not top 15.
Stats-wise, he is.
Would you take Lamar Jackson
Over who?
Okay, do you want me to go through the list?
Whoever you want.
Okay, let me pull up the list right now.
Tom Brady, no. Aaron Rodgers, no.
You counting Drew Brees
Russell
as
Wilson.
he's out?
Russell Wilson, no. I wouldn't take him over Russell Wilson.
You're still taking Drew Brees. Matthew Stafford.
No. Give me Lamar Jackson before Matthew Stafford right
for
now.
sure.
Matthew
Really?
Stafford?
Yeah, I
what?
would do that.
You just finished
I
saying
like
here, what
Matthew
have you done
Stafford.
for me lately? What has Matthew Stafford done
They're
for
undefeated.
Detroit? What has he done for Detroit before this?
They're
Anything to
undefeated.
do with playoffs?
What has Lamar Jackson done?
He actually made the playoffs.
So is Matthew Stafford.
In his first year, I'm saying
No,
his
not
first
his
year
first
that
year.
he
A few
has.
years ago.
Lamar Jackson is in his first year. He makes the playoffs, right?
That's true.
Matt Ryan.
Matthew Stafford's been sitting. You really gonna take Matt?
Yeah, I don't like Stafford, honestly.
Matty Ice is the perfect
he
name
was
for him
nice
because
in
he's been
college,
playing like
but-
ice. Nothing. No fire coming out of that man. He has Calvin Ridley. He has Julio Jones, and he has Sanu.
Carson
and what's their
Wentz.
record? Hold on. What's Matt Ryan's record?
I'm not sure.
1-4.
That's fine.
With those studs, who does Lamar Jackson have right now?
Okay, bro.
Mark Ingram to hand the ball off to, Hollywood Jackson to throw the ball to. That's it. And he has better
Baltimore
stats
is an
and playing better.
overall better team. First of all.
Am I not?
And that's plain and obvious.
Better than who?
Better than the Ravens.
Baltimore is
I'm
better
saying
than the
better
Ravens?
than the Falcons.
Okay.
That's why.
You're giving me quarterbacks. Would I rather
Yes.
take them over? Yeah.
And I would
100%.
still rather have Matt Ryan.
That
Okay,
quarterback is
Carson
doing
Wentz.
nothing.
Carson Wentz.
Yes.
These stats that you're giving me, what spots are these?
I'm not asking for stats. I'm asking
No.
who would you take
spots.
over?
What spots are these in the quarterback? Because you're
I'm
telling me
just going down a list. There's really no ranking. I'm just looking
you
at
gotta give me
names.
like you're literally rattling off the top quarterbacks.
Well, dude, this
Russell
says
Wilson?
Dak Prescott number 1. Obviously, he's not the number 1 quarterback.
All right, let's let me just jump in on that.
Deshaun Watson,
No.
Dak Prescott,
But you're
Carson
giving me,
Wentz.
You're literally saying the top quarterbacks of the top teams.
I said he's not a top 10 quarterback.
You said he's not a top 15 quarterback.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Go ahead.
Let's keep going. Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz. I would take Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan,
Nope.
Tom Brady,
Of
Aaron
course.
Rodgers,
Of
Jimmy
course.
Garoppolo.
No.
There's 10.
I would not take Jimmy over him right now. I'm sorry. I know Jimmy's balling. I'm sorry. I know he's balling, but that's another person that he hasn't played against big names.
Do you want me to keep going? That's 10.
That's
Okay.
kind of true.
You said top 15?
Yeah. Okay, Baker Mayfield,
No.
Jared Goff.
No. Right now, Jared Goff.
Bro, you are dog. Look,
Lamar
Jared
Jackson
Goff?
is balling, bro.
Look.
And I
what
like
is?
golf,
Let me
though.
ask you this: what does Lamar Jackson do on the Rams? You think the Rams are better when Lamar Jackson goes there, or do you think they're worse?
I think the Rams can play with any quarterback. Right
But
now.
okay, but what I'm saying is, if you're
Better.
saying you would rather
Better.
have, so you think the Rams are a better team if Lamar Jackson goes there over Jared Goff?
They just gained another dimension to their team. They have 3 stud receivers, a running back that he can hand the ball off to, and now he can run the ball? Hell yeah.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Bring the option back
Great.
to NFL.
Not even bring the option back. Let him throw the ball.
I disagree. I'd take Derek Carr over him.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think he getting a
I
little
would-
bit crazy.
I mean, I'm just
Derek Carr?
looking at rankings.
I'm just saying, you're asking me
Where
a
is
top
it?
15 quarterback. I think if we drafted all over again, even if it was fantasy, you would be taking him over a lot of
I'm not
these people that
talking
you
about
said.
fantasy, but
Either way.
overall, a quarterback that makes good decisions, that can throw from the pocket,
You know,
that's not too reliant.
You know, I used to think that was Matt Ryan, and then you want to know what happens?
Matt
He
Ryan
keeps
was-
losing
yeah.
over and over and over
Okay,
again.
that's
All
fine.
these quarterbacks that sit in the pocket and throw, besides Brady, they're starting to become one-dimensional. Patrick Mahomes,
Okay.
why can he throw touchdowns so big? Because
What-
he could just take off.
What
on
were we
everyone.
talking about last week with the Steelers? We said, or maybe a couple weeks ago, I'm like, yo, what's my biggest issue with the Steelers? I'm like, who's their head coach? Mike Tomlin. What is he known for? Defense. Steelers do not have, especially in the secondary, Steelers do not have a great defense. For him to throw through, I'm telling you, man, his decision making is not there yet. He might grow into it, but right now, Lamar Jackson is definitely not better than Matt Ryan. I'm not giving you Matt Ryan, that's for sure. And in my
What are you talking about, like overall or this year?
this year, right now, that's what I'm talking about. We're saying, is he a top 10
Man,
quarterback
The
right
same
now?
way you
This
said,
year, Lamar
the same way you
Jackson,
said, I
definitely.
would say I wholeheartedly disagree with you. You can't tell me that a
So
team
what
that's
if-
1-4, their quarterback is so great and he's playing awesome.
See,
I'm sorry, you can't.
yeah, but see, my
They're
opinion,
last in their division.
my opinion is if Matt Ryan's on the Baltimore Ravens, he has the same record, if not better.
Let me ask you a question.
If-
Do you think the Buccaneers are better than the Falcons?
I mean, I think they're about the same.
Well, they're getting destroyed playing against better teams.
Okay, but bro, my point
Like
is,
they just
if
finished
Matt
beating
Ryan,
the Rams that you keep praising.
if
Jared
Matt
Goff
Ryan
for.
is on the Ravens, you think they have a worse record?
If Matt Ryan is who?
If he's on the Ravens, do they have the same record, better, worse?
Worse.
What's up?
He cannot run. Who is he going to throw the ball
gosh,
to?
you're
Hollywood
crazy.
Jack. Name
But
name another receiver for
Bro,
Baltimore besides.
sometimes
besides
that's
Hollywood
not what
Brown.
it's about, dude. You don't need big name wide receivers,
I'm
just like the
sorry.
Colts, bro. But you still move the ball in other ways.
The Colts have
He's a good- okay.
the Colts have literally cycled through a bunch of different receivers until they've gotten their choice of what they wanted. T.Y. Hilton has been the only constant
That's it.
there.
That's my dog.
That's it. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
exactly, because they haven't had stack receivers.
But
The
other
same way
receivers are still putting up numbers, though.
The
is
same
my
way
point.
I'm telling you that Matt Ryan, I don't think he's better than this person. If you put Lamar Jackson on a team with Julio Jones, Sanu, Calvin Ridley, and Freeman to hand the ball off to, he's not 1-4. Do you think he's 1-4? Do you think if Lamar Jackson goes to the Falcons right now and starts the season over, they're 1-4?
Probably,
Oh my God,
bro. You
I
act
think-
like the Falcons aren't putting up points. The Falcons
happens
had 50-something
what
points put
happens
up
at-
against them, bro. Why is that Matt Ryan's fault?
Nah, yeah, that's
You,
kind of.
you remember
Like,
how we
cow.
always talk about Dallas being an accident waiting to happen? I think the Falcons need to be in that number 2 stat right behind them. Everybody's talking about these stats and how great they do and how awesome they are.
Their offense produced.
Nobody's saying they're a great team. We're only talking about Matt Ryan. That's all.
Okay, so Matt Ryan, he's 1-4. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I stand by it regardless.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. You keep going back to the 1-4 thing. Like, I'm disagreeing with you that he's 1-4. I understand the win and loss record, but my point is, if Matt Ryan's on the Ravens, he has at least the same exact record, if not better. He's definitely not a game worse than Lamar Jackson. I'll tell you that.
I disagree with that, and I also disagree with if Lamar Jackson.
Okay, but he's not a
to
top 10 quarterback. Do you agree with that, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Because there are so many quarterbacks in the league right now that are great, that are literally on a different
in like
level.
2 or 3 years, I think.
But there's also a shit ton of quarterbacks that are
t-
middle of the pack, which is where he's floating around.
But when you're talking about top 10, you can go ahead and eliminate the top 5. Because the top 5, nobody's ever going to argue. You're talking about like Tom Brady's of the game, the Aaron Rodgers of the game, Patrick Mahomes. No. Nobody's going to argue the actual top 5s. When it comes to that 10 and 15, that's when it could get argumentatively, just like you saw. Dustin wholeheartedly thinks that Matt Ryan is a great quarterback, and I'm telling you, I don't think he's a great quarterback. I wholeheartedly tell you that Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback. Why?
Neither of them are.
Because he adds another dimension to the team.
So did RG3. Okay, but look,
RG3 was pretty.
Neither of them are great.
His rookie year was on like.
Neither of them are great. Neither of them are great quarterbacks. Is my point.
But
bro.
I think that
neither of them are great quarterbacks.
Arguing Lamar Jackson is a top 15 quarterback this season is way easier than arguing that Matt Ryan is the top 15 quarterback this season.
I think they might both.
Dustin, you're 14, shaking your 15. Head. Your team, like,
I disagree.
It's not your team. I'm sorry.
I disagree.
The Falcons aren't your team.
I would still take Matt Ryan over. Taking all things into consideration, Matt Ryan does not have a run game whatsoever. It's non-existent. So nobody's stacking the box. Everybody's playing in coverage. He doesn't have a good O-line. Deion Jones just got back from injury. Keanu O'Neal tore his Achilles. They have some major injuries on that team. And they just had, 53 points put up on them. And you want to tell me Matt Ryan's 1-4. Now, look, they are both not great quarterbacks. I am not on the Lamar Jackson bandwagon because, like I said, he played a playoff game last year and he put up like 50-something passing yards. He had like 20 through the first 3 quarters. He got exposed against the Chargers, and I'm going to stick by that. Now, obviously, it looks a little different because they're spreading the ball around and he looks good, but there's going to be more tape on that and things are going to change. And a game like that does not last long. A guy like Michael Vick got hurt all the time. And I know Lamar Jackson's extremely elusive, but I would rather have a pocket quarterback who sees the field a little bit more clearly. Now, I know his numbers aren't great as far as interceptions and things go, but you can't tell me Lamar Jackson has a better football IQ than Matt Ryan.
I'm pretty sure.
I know you're not arguing that.
No, because Matt Ryan's been in the league for so long. Like,
you're and literally he still has good arm strength.
I honestly feel like that was a rhetorical question. You're literally asking me if a veteran has a higher football IQ than somebody that's been in the league for 2 years.
So then
who played at Louisville, who was known as a running quarterback, who got drafted late as fuck.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm getting to.
I just honestly feel like a lot of these teams that didn't take the chance on Lamar Jackson would have taken the chance now. People are tanking for Tua. I would rather have Lamar Jackson than Tua.
Let me finish my thought. Your only argument is that he's a running quarterback. That is your only argument for Lamar Jackson. He sees the field better. He has a better arm. He's more accurate. That's for sure. He has more experience. You're only arguing that he can run the ball. That's great. Name one time a Super Bowl ran.
My other argument that I was trying to make is when you look at all these players that Matt Ryan is surrounded with, that he's been around the entire time. Like, these aren't new guys.
And he's putting up great number. He won MVP.
What do we talk about on this, bro? We talk about championships. We talk about playoffs.
Yes.
I could care less who's going to have better stats at the end of the year.
Let's talk about playoff numbers.
I don't even think Matt Ryan is going to be in the playoffs.
Let's talk about playoff predictions.
You're honestly going to tell me that you think that Matt Ryan right now has a better chance of making the playoffs than Lamar Jackson?
That's not what I'm saying.
So you're arguing somebody that's not even going to have stats.
We're arguing who we'd rather have. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens,
who would you rather have? The person that gets you into the playoffs. Like, this sounds idiotic right now, man.
Felix, name one time a team won a Super Bowl with the read option, bro.
Come on,
Go ahead,
man.
tell me. The read option does not work in the playoffs,
Name
bro.
the last time the Atlanta Falcons have won the championship.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Name the last time the Atlanta Falcons have won the championship.
What about Lamar Jackson?
Thank you.
When has he ever won a playoff game?
It's his second year, bro. He's in the playoffs. He's 1 for 1
And
in the
he got
playoffs.
exposed. He had like 50 yards passing.
1 for 1 in the playoffs already. Matt Ryan has already missed the playoffs multiple times. He's
Lamar
made it
Jackson,
to the championship and did what?
Bro.
Had a 28-3 lead. This
And
great
flopped.
Quick question. This quarterback that you're talking about that has such a high IQ, how was his IQ not so high enough
It's
to
higher than
lose
Lamar
a game
Jackson.
that's 28-3?
Oh, for sure. For sure,
Come
bro.
on, man. Like you're literally
For
giving
sure.
giving somebody
Felix,
a goal.
answer my question. Name a team that has won a playoff game with the read option or
The
won a
read-
Super Bowl.
It's new. That's new. The read
Bro,
option.
the read
all
option has
these-
been around a long time.
Name a quarterback that's made it anywhere close besides Michael Vick. Exactly. Name somebody
Okay,
besides
but
him.
it's been around that long. Why hasn't it worked?
Michael Vick is the only
Did
person.
Michael Vick
all
work?
these people that show
Did
up.
Michael Vick work?
Michael Vick made it to championships. You're talking about Matt Ryan making it to
Michael
the
Vick did not
championships.
make it to the Super Bowl.
Really? He didn't make it to the Super Bowl with the
With
Falcons?
who? No, he didn't. How much you want to bet?
Or with Philly?
No.
With Terrell Owens?
No. Back up. Try again.
Okay. So Michael Vick didn't make the championships. Matt Ryan made the championships
So
and flopped.
answer my question. Name one Super Bowl team.
Never.
Okay.
Because it's something
That
that
is
hasn't
my
been seen
point,
like
Felix.
that. Now
okay,
you're seeing a
Lamar
bunch of
Jackson's going to
quarterbacks.
win regular season games. That's great, bro. Awesome. He's going to win regular season games. He might win more than Matt Ryan. But in
Okay.
the playoffs, you want Matt Ryan over Lamar Jackson.
Okay, and in playoffs, you want Patrick Mahomes over all these people, right? True or false?
Yeah.
Why?
Probably.
Not because of, in addition to his arm, why? Because he runs.
Because he's a baller. Dude,
on,
no,
man.
he doesn't run that much. He runs around the pocket and throws it.
This year. Last year, he was known for running everything in. Are you kidding? Do we have to look up his stats now?
Felix, he threw 50 touchdowns, bro. He's not known as a runner. Like, he might scramble every now and then, at least like an Aaron Rodgers. He can run and he's athletic, but he's not known as a runner.
How many touchdowns do you think he has?
A flop, no.
I don't know. Running touchdowns?
Running touchdowns, yeah.
I don't know, bro. That could be quarterback sneaks. That could be that doesn't dictate that he's a runner. That doesn't tell me much.
I honestly think you're getting a little bit crazy in saying that Patrick Mahomes is not known for running. He literally runs everywhere. The quarterback literally runs out of the pocket and makes time for his arm to literally deliver every shot he wants.
Of course he can scramble. I'm saying he's a scrambling quarterback that throws the football.
That
Lamar
runs
Jackson
the football as well.
Of course he does. I said he's like an Aaron Rodgers, bro. Aaron Rodgers is notorious for throwing the football and being an excellent scramble when needed to.
I just think we could have agreed to disagree on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Here, I'll tell you what. I think at the end of the season, if everything pans out, you might see your first running quarterback in a Super Bowl. Hopefully.
There's no way.
That's what I'll say.
I don't even think the Ravens will win the division.
I'm not talking about the Ravens. I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a runner.
He threw 50.
He threw 50 touchdowns, yeah.
Okay,
Why?
so-
Because his running was getting him in the position where his offense is wide open.
So you think he's more known than a runner than a thrower?
Now, like, his arm is what he's known for. He has a cannon. Come on.
So what is he known for then?
For having his cannon. But the arm, we've seen the arm before. Jamarcus Russell had a fucking bomb.
For being like a prototype quarterback.
Like if you want to
course.
talk about an arm, Jamarcus Russell could sit on the 40-yard line and throw it.
So can Lamar Jackson.
Come on, man. Patrick Mahomes literally runs to throw these strikes. All these receivers go down on his team, and it doesn't matter.
See,
Why?
now you're
Because
saying run
always...
to throw these strikes.
Yes,
I said
he's a running quarterback to run into the position. Is that not what I was starting with? I literally said that. He runs to get all these bombs that he throws.
If anybody's listening, they'll know.
We'll ask him in the comments.
They'll know.
Matter of fact, that's the end. We've landed. Like and subscribe to Toke Talks and let us know what you think. Is Patrick Mahomes a runner?
We are go for liftoff.